Many of you have probably been covering me for a lot of my life. And as you may know,
I have like 5 phones, so
Okay.
I'll be one of those. Yes.
How are you?
Good.
The TikTok.
What did Kim Kardashian, Selena Gomez, and JoJo Siwa all have in common? They've each managed to turn their personal lives into full-blown public spectacles. And this week, the internet is picking apart every uncomfortable detail. Kim Kardashian may have used a single movie date to launch her fame, but was it actually a trap? Selena Gomez is smiling on Instagram, but behind the scenes, something strange is happening with Benny Blanco. And her mom's in the middle of it. And JoJo Siwa? Well, she just told the world what she named her boyfriend's balls. Yes, really. From vanilla in bed, blind items to emotional affairs, staged paparazzi, and a possible celebrity sugar baby situation.
Kim K gets her very first appearance in the tabloids. She was out on a movie date with Nick.
This week's drama is just as chaotic as it sounds. So let's break down the mess, the manipulation, and the moves no one wants to admit were planned. Before the private jets, billion-dollar brands, and courtroom drama with Kanye, Kim Kardashian was just a name floating around the edges of someone else's fame. Back in 2006, she wasn't Kim K yet. She was still Paris Hilton's assistant, occasionally showing up in background shots, hoping to be noticed. But one quiet movie date changed all of that. Not because of who she was with, but because of what she allegedly did. That year, Nick Lachey was one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. He had just split from Jessica Simpson, their messy marriage and breakup televised for the world on Newlyweds.
Kim Kardashian's Rise to Fame, Part 9. So Kim and Paris were everywhere together. This was a huge marketing.
He was single, still in the spotlight, and freshly vulnerable. Enter Kim. The two went to see the Da Vinci Code, a casual afternoon movie date that on paper seemed normal. But midway through the film, something strange happened. Kim got up to use the restroom and didn't come back for a while. Nick thought it was odd. But when they left the theater together, it got even weirder. 25 paparazzi were waiting outside. Not 5, not one random photographer who happened to be on the street. 25. Cameras locked in, flashbulbs popping, all pointed at Kim. Nick later said, "There were other things in play in our little adventure." That's the polite celebrity way of saying, she called them, and just like that, she was famous.
At her. I hate everything she stands for, right? She's trying to change your daughters and mine into...
In the days that followed, Kim's photo was everywhere. New couple? Nick Lachey rebounds with mystery brunette. Headlines didn't even need her name at first. They just needed Nick's. But by the end of the week, everyone knew who Kim Kardashian was. And Nick? He wasn't happy. He later clarified that calling Kim his ex-girlfriend was a massive stretch. They went on one date, and he never heard from her again. It wasn't a relationship. It was, as many believe now, a strategic setup. Think about it. Nick was already in the tabloids for his divorce. Kim needed attention. One photo op was enough to launch the slow drip of tabloid mentions that would lead to her reality show, her relationships, and eventually global stardom.
Nick Lachey and Kim Kardashian went on one date in the early aughts, and this is before Kim Kardashian was famous.
And it didn't end there. Years later, Nick and Live with Kelly host Kelly Ripa showed up to a Halloween special in costume as Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries, a full parody of her short-lived marriage. But here's the kicker. They did it on the exact same day Kim announced her divorce. Was it intentional, coincidental, petty, all of the above? Either way, Kim never responded. The girl who once called the paparazzi from a movie theater bathroom had become too big to even acknowledge the guy she once used as a launch pad. It's wild to think that a single afternoon could shift someone's career. But in Kim's case, it might have been the most important bathroom break of her life.
I'm just so busy all the time. I just want one normal, boring day. Kind of like the day you have every day.
And if this really was the first calculated move in her rise to fame, it makes you wonder, how much of her public life was always just performance? Because while some stars earn their spotlight, others engineer it. And while Kim was laying the groundwork for an empire, one flashbulb at a time, another A-list name was trying to hold her personal life together. Selena Gomez may have the public's sympathy, but behind the curated Instagram posts, her own world may be cracking under pressure. On the surface, everything seems fine. Selena Gomez just turned 32, she's smiling in every photo, and her relationship with producer Benny Blanco looks picture perfect. She posts sweet captions. He shares behind-the-scenes moments. They appear happy. Like, finally happy.
Selena Gomez herself is responding to the rumors that her and Benny Blanco broke up because Benny...
But behind that glossy surface, something doesn't add up. A few weeks ago, fans noticed something strange. Selena suddenly unfollowed one of her longtime friends, a woman who had been seen with Benny in public. No statement, no explanation. Just a quiet unfollow and a growing list of questions. At the same time, blind items started circulating, hinting that the relationship between Selena and Benny wasn't just cooling off. It might be cracking. Some sources suggested emotional distance. Others floated the word cheating. But even without confirmation, the timing raised eyebrows, especially when fans connected it to another unsettling situation involving Selena's family.
I didn't know. Period. Can I see the wedding? Well, can I? Are you just like mobbing? I want to see the wedding.
Because while she was promoting mental health awareness for her birthday wish, something else was quietly happening behind the scenes. Her mother, Mandy Teefee, reportedly had to take out a loan on her own house to pay the employees of Wondermind, the mental health startup co-founded by Selena herself. Think about that. A company backed by one of the most recognizable stars in the world wasn't paying its workers. And the person stepping in to clean up the mess wasn't a CEO. It was her mother. It paints a very different picture than the one on Instagram. The caption says charity, but the paperwork says financial strain. And the silence from Selena about her mom's reported sacrifice? Deafening.
So you're telling me Benny Blanco cheated on Selena Gomez? This has got to be the biggest fumble of all time. So there was a TikTok posted where
Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Fans are starting to wonder if this perfect relationship, Selena and Benny, is really as grounded as it looks, or if it's been floating on carefully timed PR moves. Remember, Selena's public team is smart. They know how to build sympathy and protect her image. But even her most loyal followers are questioning why so many red flags are showing up at once, and why the responses feel so rehearsed. The birthday donation? Great headline. The unfollowing of a friend? Quietly brushed off. The financial reports about Wondermind? Buried. Her mom's role in all of this? Barely acknowledged. And that's not even getting into Selena's past patterns, where relationships often start out publicly sweet.
What is going on with Benny Blanco? I thought seeing articles like this saying he's cheating on Selena Gomez with her former best
and quietly vanish when they stop serving the narrative. It's not about hating on Selena. It's about recognizing that even the most beloved stars play the same Hollywood game. The timing, the optics, the distractions, it's all calculated. And whether it's her romance with Benny or the inner workings of her charity, the cracks are starting to show. But while Selena's team may be trying to keep things under control, one celebrity isn't trying to hide anything. Because JoJo Siwa just said something so wild, so freakishly specific, that even her fans are wondering if she's trolling or if she's just completely unaware of how weird she sounds. Just when you thought JoJo Siwa couldn't get any more unpredictable, she drops a confession that has the internet doing a double take.
JoJo Siwa and Chris Hughes are allegedly dating. Here's the full timeline. But we all know JoJo Siwa, self-anointed queen of...
Apparently, JoJo, the rainbow bow-wearing child star turned edgy adult, isn't just living her best life. She's naming her boyfriend's private parts? Yeah, that's not a joke. According to an interview with her current man, Chris Hughes, JoJo affectionately nicknamed his balls Jimmy and Timmy. Let that sink in. Jimmy and Timmy. As if she's naming a pair of cartoon twins instead of, well, you get the picture. And this isn't just some weird inside joke. Chris casually brought it up in a public interview, laughing like it was the most normal thing ever. He even joked that those names might one day help make their future children, who JoJo has already said she wants to name Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy.
I can't believe JoJo Siwa confirmed her relationship with a man, Chris Hughes, on the first day of Pride Month.
Are you seeing the rhyming obsession here? But this isn't just about some bizarre pet names. JoJo's relationship with Chris Hughes has already been raising eyebrows for a very different reason. Because apparently, she got catfished. Yep. JoJo believes she was talking to a famous guy on Snapchat, specifically musician Ronnie Radke. And according to her, things got flirty, emotional, maybe even a little scandalous. But spoiler alert, it wasn't Ronnie. It was a fake account. And JoJo only found out after she had confessed everything to her actual boyfriend, Chris. Her response? A tearful apology on camera. I'm not a good person for talking to someone while I'm married, but I've gone through a lot in my relationship.
I can just spend every minute of the day with her. And I feel like even though we all love B&W, I still feel like I'm spending just...
Wait, married? JoJo Siwa's not legally married, but she's talking like she is and using relationship stress as a defense for falling for a catfish? And that's where this gets complicated. Because as weird as the Jimmy and Timmy thing is, this catfishing scandal feels more serious. Not only was JoJo emotionally involved with someone who turned out to be fake, but she admitted she might have cheated, kind of. That is, if you believe emotional cheating counts. And in her words, even she's not sure. She said, quote, "I'm in a hotel. This whole thing is embarrassing. Just leave us alone." But no one's leaving it alone, because this wasn't just a DM scandal. It revealed how fragile her relationship really is.
Totally TMI, and I love it. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media.
And if this is how she reacts to a fake Ronnie Radke, what happens when a real opportunity comes knocking, and yet somehow all of this, the catfish, the freaky confessions, the oversharing, ended up bringing her and Chris closer together? That's what she claims, that this wild mess made them stronger. But while JoJo's over here turning her boyfriend into a cartoon character, another celebrity is being accused of doing something way worse. Because Sydney Sweeney is getting dragged into a billion-dollar love triangle, and Jeff Bezos is right in the middle of it. Sydney Sweeney is on everyone's screen these days, but now she's allegedly showing up on Jeff Bezos' radar, and not just for her acting.
Know why Sydney Sweeney was at Bezos' wedding. And Sweeney best known for her iconic role in the Marvel cinematic masterpiece Madam Web. She was...
Rumor has it, Sydney's quietly launching her own lingerie brand. But the real jaw-dropper? That brand is supposedly being backed by none other than Jeff Bezos and his wife, Lauren Sanchez. Yes, that Bezos. According to multiple insiders, Sydney's been working on this project for over a year, and the money behind it allegedly comes from CO2, an investment firm that just received a $1 billion check from Bezos and tech titan Michael Dell. So, you've got the richest man in the world cutting checks to fund Sydney Sweeney's lingerie empire? That's not business. That's a whole PR earthquake. And it didn't come out of nowhere. Remember a few weeks ago when Sydney showed up at Bezos and Sanchez's wedding in Venice?
The Jeff Bezos-Lauren Sanchez wedding. Did we see... Because everyone's kind of like... Sydney Sweeney.
Most people thought it was just a random invite. But now, it looks more like a calculated move. Paying respect to the boss before a major launch. And here's where the tension kicks in. Reports say Lauren Sanchez wasn't exactly thrilled when she found out how deep Jeff's involvement might be. According to Page 6, there's definite friction between the couple over how cozy Jeff is with Sydney's business. Some say Sydney isn't even friends with either of them, which raises a huge question. Why is she getting a seat at the wedding table and millions in funding? Others claim she's playing the Hollywood game hard, getting close to power, doing what needs to be done, and people are starting to notice. One insider told Page 6,
I think we've all seen how Sydney Sweeney arrived at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding by now, and I know
Sydney's not that close with Jeff or Lauren, but she got invited to Venice for a reason. It's all business. The timing is suspicious too. Days after the wedding, Sydney posted a set of sultry bikini photos that looked exactly like campaign teasers. Subtle? Not really. Strategic? Absolutely. And here's the twist. Lauren Sanchez allegedly didn't realize how much Jeff was involved until it was too late. Now people are asking, is this just a smart business move or the start of something a lot more complicated? Because when lingerie, billions, and jealousy collide, something is always about to explode. But while Sydney's possibly cashing Bezos-sized checks, another celebrity is cashing out emotionally.
Lingerie brand by Jeff Bezos. You're out here in DMs trying to raise your funds.
Because Paris Jackson just fired legal shots at her own father's estate. While some celebrities are chasing power and PR, Paris Jackson is chasing answers. And this time, she's pointing the finger at her own family's empire. Michael Jackson's legacy is untouchable to some. To others, it's a fortress of secrecy and controversy. But now his daughter is cracking it open. Reports reveal Paris is challenging the executors of her father's estate in court, accusing them of approving massive payouts over $625,000 in legal fees, bonuses, and what she calls lavish gratuities. And here's the twist. She's not just upset about the money. She's calling out the entire system that's been cashing in on Michael's name since the moment he died. Think about that. The king of pop's own daughter believes his estate, the empire built in his name, has been milking his legacy for profit, cutting deals, selling off rights, and paying themselves huge bonuses, all while she and her brothers were kept in the dark. Even worse, Paris's legal team says these payments appear to consist of lavish bonuses to already well-paid counsel. So what's the estate's defense? That the money was earned fair and square, especially after they helped negotiate a massive $287.5 million deal selling Michael's stake in EMI Music Publishing to Sony. They claim their business savvy created value that Michael himself didn't have at the time of his death.
A few days ago, we all started seeing the Paris Jackson has asked questions as to some of the money.
Their words, not ours. They're also trying to shut down Paris's challenge entirely, calling it misguided, untimely, and without merit. In fact, they say it should be tossed out just because her siblings haven't objected. Imagine being Michael Jackson's daughter and getting told your voice doesn't matter because no one else is speaking up. But this fight isn't just about numbers. Paris has said before that she struggles with her father's legacy, and now it looks like she's trying to protect it from becoming a money machine for people who were never part of his inner circle. And fans are starting to wonder, was Michael Jackson worth more dead than alive? And if so, who's really profiting? Because even if Paris is standing alone, she's standing for something powerful.
Y'all, so why does Paris gotta be out here doing the executor job? She said y'all is not about to play with her daddy's name or...
And this battle might just rewrite the story of the Jackson legacy forever. But while she's taking on powerful estate lawyers, another celeb is going head-to-head with a DJ? If you thought Justin Timberlake's biggest problem was his recent arrest, think again. Because now, the former golden boy of pop is out here throwing diva tantrums and trying to erase his entire boy band past in public. According to multiple sources, Justin was at a club recently when the DJ made the unforgivable mistake of playing an NSYNC track. You know, the group that made Justin a household name. Instead of smiling and vibing like a normal person, he stormed out of the club. Yes, walked out. Just because his own hit song came on. What was the problem?
Now, there is a lot I can say about whatever this is.
Ego. Plain and simple. Justin has reportedly been telling people he wants to distance himself from his boy band days, which is fine until he starts acting like they never existed. And fans, they're not having it. One clubgoer said the DJ played Bye 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 and Justin just went cold. Another claimed he muttered something about not wanting to be reminded of that era. One fan online wrote, he needs to remember that he wouldn't be anyone without NSYNC. And while the internet was still side-eyeing that meltdown, Justin managed to one-up himself, this time on his own tour. It wasn't subtle, it wasn't classy, and it definitely wasn't professional. Some fans defended him, saying something must have gone wrong with his mic or cues.
You know what's even funnier? Sorry. Justin Timberlake is getting backlash for his recent world tour that he's on at the moment because he keeps.
But others pointed out that this comes suspiciously soon after his DUI arrest, with rumors of substance use and stress boiling over. And if all that wasn't enough, there are whispers that Justin's having internal issues behind the scenes, struggles with control, demands on staff, and a rising tension that could derail his whole comeback tour. So while he's yelling at DJs and treating his stage crew like interns, fans are left wondering, is this the same Justin Timberlake we grew up loving? Or is the pop prince finally cracking under pressure? Because if he keeps burning bridges with fans and team members, he might find himself saying bye to his career for real. And speaking of fake fronts, let's talk Billie Eilish and the vegan drama that's turning her concerts into controversies.
Justin Timberlake may be silently tanking his tour, and here's why no one's talking about it. Number one, from what Reddit is saying,
Billie Eilish has always marched to the beat of her own drum, but now she's marching her entire fan base to the salad bar, and not everyone's loving it. At her recent O2 concerts in London, Billie did something no pop star has dared before. She banned all meat and dairy from the venue. Yes, every burger, taco, and slice of pizza, gone. Replaced with plant-based options only. From peri-peri halloumi wraps to non-bread and vegan tacos, fans were given the full green treatment. No meat, no eggs, not even a splash of dairy. And Billie made sure they knew it. She narrated an eco-awareness film before the show, created a map of local vegan restaurants, and even made the entire crew go vegan while on tour.
You know, the people that are always like, I'm a vegan, in everyone's face, it's like, you're the reason people don't like vegans.
Sounds like a green queen move. But some fans are calling it a vegan dictatorship. Social media lit up with mixed reactions. While some applauded her commitment to sustainability and animal rights, others felt forced into a lifestyle they didn't sign up for. One user posted, I came to see Billie, not get lectured about oat milk. Another wrote, respect her values, but I need cheese on my pizza. Sorry. But the backlash didn't stop at the food. Turns out, Billie's not exactly walking the full vegan talk. Despite banning burgers, she's been seen rocking leather boots, enjoying honey, and even riding horses, all of which raise eyebrows in the strict vegan community. So is Billie Eilish a passionate advocate?
I'm vegan and gluten-free, okay? So my choices are very slim. Some things I can eat are ketchup.
Or a selective activist? Fans are torn. Some say she's doing her best, leading with intention and using her platform for good. Others feel the double standard is hard to ignore, especially when the crew reportedly had no say in their diet while working the tour. One critic summed it up perfectly. It's giving eco-icon with a side of control freak. And yet, despite the drama, thousands still packed the venue, camping out for days, braving the elements, all for a front row view of their idol. Because love her or side-eye her, Billie's fans ride hard, vegan food or not. But while Billie's feeding fans lentils and ethics, another celeb's feeding the gossip mill with cheating rumors, drug deals, and a catfish scandal.
People camping 11 days on concrete to see Billie Eilish. She thinks you're a freak.
If you thought rock stars were immune to internet scams, think again, because Tommy Lee just got caught in one of the most embarrassing marital scandals we've seen in a while. And his wife, Brittany Ferlin, is at the center of the storm. Let's break this down. Brittany was catfished on Snapchat. She thought she was talking to a famous musician, Ronnie Radke, and apparently she was so convinced. She was ready to cheat. Yes, cheat. On Tommy Lee. The twist? It wasn't Ronnie. It was some random internet guy, and Brittany was fully emotionally invested. She later admitted everything publicly, saying, I thought it was him. I know I'm married. I'm not a good person for talking to someone while I'm married.
Tommy Lee's marriage is being rocked by a catfish scandal right now. I'm going to tell you guys everything you need to know about what's going on between Tom.
So not only did she cheated on her legendary rock star husband with a fake version of a completely different rock star. But here's where it gets worse. Fans started accusing Tommy of turning a blind eye to the whole thing. Not because he's chill, but because Brittany allegedly buys his drugs for him. Yeah, it's messy. One blind item even claimed Tommy's okay with the cheating as long as she keeps his stash coming. That's not love. That's codependence at its sloppiest. Comment sections exploded with disgust. He's pimping out his wife for a hit? This is straight up toxic on both ends. Meanwhile, Ronnie Radke himself got involved, and he made Britney look like a complete clown.
I wish I never even made like a video responding to any of it, because I just think I felt so attacked because there were so many videos.
He publicly denied ever speaking to her and basically mocked her for falling for a catfish. Britney tried to clean things up, telling her followers she was struggling in her marriage, staying in a hotel, and begging for privacy. But honestly, it was too late. One user commented, "You weren't embarrassed until the lie collapsed. Now you want space?" The drama didn't just expose cracks in their relationship, it straight up lit them on fire. And yet, somehow, they're still together. Britney claims the chaos brought them closer, saying, "It weirdly made us realize we didn't want to lose each other." Which, sure, if almost cheating on your husband because you were catfished by a fake rock star is your version of couples therapy.
Ronnie Radke says Tommy Lee's wife, Brittany Furlan, was catfished by a Ronnie Radke impersonator, and now Brittany has responded. This story...
Then congrats. But from the outside, it's giving more trauma bond than true love. Because at this point, the only thing holding this relationship together is public humiliation, a whole lot of dysfunction, and maybe a couple shared secrets they both can't afford to leak. From Kim Kardashian's paparazzi chess move to Selena Gomez's charity drama, JoJo Siwa's bizarre bedroom confessions, and Tommy Lee's catfish catastrophe, one thing's become crystal clear. The mess is never just personal, it's strategic. Hollywood isn't just about talent anymore. It's about image control, distraction tactics, and knowing exactly how much of your personal disaster to share. Because sometimes the scandal is the brand.
Is catfishing a case for the FBI? According to the frontman for the band Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke, it is, so let me explain.
Kim turned a single date into a career launch. Selena packaged heartbreak as philanthropy. JoJo Siwa made ball jokes into brand building. And Tommy? He might just be surviving off of chaos. But here's the question nobody wants to ask. Are these celebrities spiraling, or are they calculating every chaotic move? Because in the age of viral gossip, mess sells. And for some of them, it's the only thing keeping their names in the headlines. So next time you see a bizarre date, a shady comment, or a paparazzi leak, just ask yourself, was it really an accident? Or was it the plan all along? Stay tuned, because in Hollywood, the drama never ends. It just reloads.